Hey, what's going on, nerds? Welcome to my Otis videos. This is my very first Otis tutorial video, so I'm kind of excited about it. Also, pardon me about my voice. I just caught a cold. Uh, Nothing serious, I think. It's probably just coronavirus. Anyway, oh, by the way, if you don't know what Otis is, it's basically a software developed to be a patient stimulator for audiology students. So it acts as a virtual patient and I think allows you to practice your techniques on it. And in some universities, like our Macquarie University here in Sydney, Australia, Otis also used for our final exams. So I think for year one students only. I think. Anyway, but and if you don't know what it is, it's fine. I'm pretty sure Netflix is more fun. Anyway, just in case you've never used Otis before, you have to buy it. It's like you're buying the license. You don't really buy the software. So it's either 6 month or 12 month. I do recommend you to buy one because you will need it. The uni does provide practice lectures or classes, but it's only a couple of times, like 3-4 times a semester, which I don't think is really enough. You need more time than that. Okay, anyway, here's how this software looks like. The first thing you do, you choose the method, which is ASA if you're in Australia. If you're in the States or other countries, I have no idea which one you should choose. But for States, probably Asia. Anyway, in Australia we use ASA, but it doesn't really matter, I think. Also, there are a couple of buttons for you to click. Normally, the one that uses program. If you click on it, you see exit. And anyway, it's supposed to be a joke, I think. Okay. All right, there. Just click on exercises. You just click on launch, and there are different exercises for you to do. They do have different levels. If you see level 2, it's fairly easy, and if you see level, I don't know, like level 4, level 5, I think it's the top one, so level 7. So that one is probably hard. Oh, I still remember him. It's a nightmare. Anyway, and you can also import other exercises from your university, I think. Anyway, in each video, I will post a link down below in the description, and you can download the exact exercises I do in the video and just import that into your Otis, and then you can do that. Okay, so it's pretty much a very easy and straightforward software to use. Okay, so in this video, I'll just do a demo. So I'll just choose Luke, which is level 2. It should be easy. Let's see how it goes. Oh, by the way, there is a evaluation button. You just click on view exercise evaluation. It'll show you all the past history that you saved. So you just always just go back to see what you've done right and what you've done wrong. And don't forget to name yourself. Anyway, I might just delete it. Okay. Now let's jump in to see what's going on with Luke. Where's Luke? Yep, there you go. Okay. Don't forget to type your name. Okay. It might take a while. Okay, Luke is 79 years old. He has recently been complaining about problems with his hearing. Sure. That's why we're here. Okay. All right, let's go back to the main interface of this virtual patient. You always have a hat of this patient on the top left corner. If you click on that, you can switch between, just ask the patient which one is the better ear. So Luke says hearing is equally good or equally bad in both ears. So it'll pop up here. So you see it's balanced. I mean, if the patient says If the hearing is better in the right ear, then it'll just have the red arrow on the right side, and there will be no blue left arrow there. So you see, now it's balanced. Then it'll give you a otoscopy picture, which is nothing to comment on. It's pretty normal, clear, pretty shiny, cone of light, nice. And then if you click on that, it'll give you case history. Or you click on C, which is the shortcut for it. With sensorineural hearing impairment in later years, it is difficult to decide whether this has come about through noise, hereditary factors, illness, like sudden hearing loss, or age-related changes, presbycusis. Anyway, basically it says we have no idea what's going on. Okay, don't click on that information again because it popped up before. If you click on it, it'll add like 10 seconds as a penalty, I think. So there's a control panel. You can see the time here. Your result will partly marked on the time you take to finish the task. But if you're practicing, don't mind about that. But in the exam, you do need to take a closer look at that. Anyway, then you have tuning forks. You click on Weber. Okay. For Weber test, it's balanced, which is consistent with the hearing, which is balanced in both ears. Now we're gonna click in ring test. It's gonna be loud again. Ring test is positive for right ear, positive for the left ear. I'm not gonna explain about the tuning forks. You learn that. Then you can switch between the headphone, the insert phone, or bone conductor. Normally we just use headphone, and they actually require you to use headphone for the exam. So don't click on insert unless you want to practice on it. The only difference between the insert and the headphone is the intraoral attenuation, which is 40 for headphone and 60 for the inserts. During exam, just use headphone. Don't switch. Yep. Okay. And masking. Here, I don't need mask at the moment, but then if you do, you just click on mask. But you do need to turn on the mask noise. Otherwise, it's just useless. Anyhow, that's basically about this little hat. There are other things you can just play around and click around. Oh, here you can just see the uncomfortable loudness level. I don't know if I never use that, but just go back to PTA. And that's your timbre result. Oh, so let's take a look at the timbre result. Basically in the right ear, it's pretty normal. In the left ear, yeah, it's possibly around 0.7 maybe. Anything between 0.2 and 1.8 is, we say, normal. And between 100 and minus 100 for adults is normal. So the timbres are pretty normal. That means Mr. Luke does not have a middle ear dysfunction. Okay. Yeah, because the information literally just said it's sensorineural hearing loss. Anyway, now because there is no better side, I'll just start with the right ear. So you click on right ear. Also, the shortcut for right ear just R, and for the left ear just L. So you click on L, it becomes left ear, and if you click on R, it goes back to right. And if it's pulse one or pulses, I think pulses is probably just wobble tone, but I just use pulse tone, which is pure tone. Anyway, you don't have to change any other things. And if you don't quit like me, I'm a quitter, you just click on cancel. It's always not too late to click on cancel and go back to Netflix. Anyway, let's get started. Now, remember you always start with 40. So you just give it a presentation. Normally it lasts about 1 to 2 seconds, because if it's too short, the patient might not catch it. If it's too long, longer than 2 seconds, there are studies about this. Then this study is saying if it's longer than 2 seconds, it's actually not going to change anything. So don't worry about it. Just count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippis, and that's it. Or just 1, 2, whatever. Okay, I'm talking too much. So this is 40. I give it the presentation, then it will show you it's presenting, and then there's no response. Whenever there's no response at the beginning, we just go down 20 dB. Go down, I mean graphically going down, not the sound level. Sound level is actually going up. So now if I'm saying going down, then I'm moving down the little circle. Okay, so 60, give it a presentation. There you go. So that is the response. So whenever there's a response, the red light will just be on. Then you know there is a response. Okay, so there's a response. Now we start to use the Houston-Westlake technique. We go up 10. Up 10, I mean the sound level down 10, which is graphically going up 10. Okay, so 50. There's something. We go up 10 again. 40, there's nothing. So we go down. Okay, so that is our first ascending, right? So we go up 10, nothing. Go down 5, nothing. Go down 5. All right, there's something. So that is our second ascending. We save it. You can always click on save, or the shortcut for save is the key S. So save it. Okay, then we go to 2K. Normally, I would start like 10 dB below 1K. Why? Because you see, because we're testing elderly people, mostly will be elderly people. So the configuration of hearing loss would most likely be sloping. That's like typical pattern of presbycusis. So I just go down 10. That's my personal preference. You can always start with 40, and if there's no response, you go 60. I'm not anal about this. Okay, so I'll just give it 55. Nothing. Go down 5. I go down 10. Still nothing. Going down another 10. Oh, there's something. Okay. Now I go back to the reason why I'm going down 10 by 10 is because it's just personal choice again. You can always go down 20. In that case, I should have just gone down 20 anyway. 65, nothing. 70. Okay, there's something. Again, this is my first ascending. So I go up 10. Nothing. 65. Nothing. 70. Oh, there's something. That's my second ascending. Okay. Remember, I'll just click as. Once you start with 50 and there's no response, and at this time you go down 20, this doesn't count as a ascending. Right? The ascending starts after you've gone up, if that makes any sense. Okay. Now remember, if there's more than 20 dB gap between the two adjacent frequency, you always test the in-between frequency. Here it should be 1.5K. Right? The reason, I don't know the reason actually, but that's what they asked for. Just follow the rules. So now we have to test 1.5K. I'll start with 60. Oh, there's something. I'll go back to 50. There's nothing. Now we start to ascend. Nothing. 55. Oh, it's pretty slow. Oof. Dude, release the button. What's going on? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Hey, you need to release. See, in real. Oh, what is going on? Is it? I think. I think. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's why. Okay, sorry. Um, I kind of click on that. If you click on that, that means the stimulus is always on. Kind of just misclicked. Anyway, in real life, if the patient, it could happen like all the time. If the patient just keeps pressing on the button and not releasing it, all you need to do, you don't really have to re-instruct the client, because otherwise you have to take the headphones off and talk to the client again and make them feel more confused. All you need to do is just pause for a while and give it another presentation of the sound, and then the patient will know, oh, I need to release it and then press it. And just after a couple of trials, the patient would know what's going on. They're smart. Okay. Now, oh, sorry. We'll just keep testing here. Give it 16, something. Go up 10, which is 50, nothing. Now, that's we start ascend. 55. Okay, that's our first ascending. We go back up 10 to 45. There's nothing. 50, nothing. 55. Yeah, something. Thank God. Okay, so that's our second ascending. Save it. Now let's move on to 4K. I'll start with 80. Nothing. 90. Nothing. 100. Yes, something. Okay. Now this time we'll go up 10. 90. Nothing. 95. That is our first ascending. Okay, we'll go back to 85. Nothing. 90. Nothing. 95. Okay, there's something. I'll just save it, which is our second ascending. Also, there's more than 20 dB, which is that's 25. 20 dB between threshold of 2K and 4K. So we now have to test 3K. I'll start with the 90. It's pretty arbitrary. You can start with 80. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I'll start with 80. Nothing. 90. Something. Okay, now we go back to 80 because we got up 10. Nothing. 85. There's something. Okay, that is our first ascending. I go back to 75. Nothing. 80. Nothing. 85. Oh, there's something. I'll just save it. Okay, that's our second ascending. So I just saved it. Also, this one thing you need to remember is that just don't be rhythmic. Rhythmic. Yeah, don't be rhythmic. Why? Because the patient might just gonna be able to sort of guess when you're gonna present the next stimulus. So just don't give them the pattern. But I don't think it's gonna affect Otis, the virtual patient, that much. But in real life, it's not a good idea to be rhythmic. Okay, let's go to 8K. Okay, so now see, I can't go down anymore because it reaches the maximum output of this level. Because you don't want to blast the patient. So I just start with the 90. Yep, there's nothing, as I would expect. So at this time, in real life, you would ask the patient if they mind you to go even louder, because one of the result of a hearing loss is reduced dynamic range. The dynamic range is basically the range between the hearing threshold and the level of which the sound is too loud for the patient. So normally our threshold is probably at 0, and 100 is probably too loud for us. Now for people with hearing loss, the dynamic range could be 70 to 100. So the range from the level of that can be barely heard by the patient to the level of the uncomfortable level of the range is pretty small. So you do want to be careful in real life, but here it doesn't really matter because it's not a real person anyway. Now what you want to do is just click on extended range, or you click on E, which is the shortcut for it. Now you can move down. I'll give it 110. Oh, there's something cool. I'll go back to 100. There's nothing. 105. Oh, there's something. That's our first ascending. Wait, is this first or second? This is confusing. Anyway, 95. Nothing. 100. Nothing. 105. Yep. I count as second ascending, which is, I believe it's accurate. I'll give it another try. Yep. 100. Nothing. Cool. 105. All right. Now what you want to do is go back to 1K and retest. Because this might be the first hearing test for the patient, and the patient doesn't really know what's going on. So we want to just go back to 1K to cross-check. Okay, so we try 50 first. Response, we go back to 40. Nothing. Okay. 45. Yep. I'll go back to 35. Nothing. 40. Nothing. 45. Yep, there's something. I'll save it again. You don't have to save again, but that's what I do. I click on it again. So now we're pretty sure that the patient knows what he's doing and what we are doing. Okay, now let's go back to 500 hertz. The normally the order would just be 1, 2, 4, 8, and then we go back to 500 and 250. I think they've taught us about why we're doing this, but I forgot. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, 500. I'll start with 50. That's one response. Go up to 40. Go up to 30. Ooh. Go up to 20. There's nothing. Go down 5, 25. There's nothing. Thank God. There's nothing. Otherwise, I'd have to do 750 hertz because there will be 20 dB gap. Anyway, 30. Okay, that's our first ascending. We'll go back to 20. Nothing. 25. Nothing. Oh, God damn it. Okay, now we have to go back to 15. Nothing. 20. Nothing. 25. God damn it. Yeah, okay. Now, again, we have a 20 dB gap. Now we have to test 750 hertz because there is now a 20 dB gap between 1K and 500 hertz. That's what we call interactive frequency. I think that's a word. Anyway, okay, so 750 hertz. I'll start with 40. There's something. Let's go back to 30. There's something. Let's go back to 20. Remember not to be rhythmic. Nothing. 25. Nothing. 30. Nothing. 35. Okay, that's our first ascending. Now we go back to 25. Nothing. 30. Nothing. 35. Yes. Okay. Now threshold is 35. Even if there's like 5 dB retest result, it's all right. 5 dB is not a big deal, even in the final exam. Okay. Now we test 250. I start with 20. Nothing. Bad choice. 30. Okay. Then we go back to 20. Nothing. Down 5. Yep, that's our first ascending. We go back to 15. Nothing. 20. Nothing. 25. Yes, okay. Now, it's our second ascending. So now we've got the right ear. Everything we need is here. Great. Okay, it just took us 19 minutes, which is all right. Okay, now we're gonna test the left ear. Just click on L, and then now it becomes a cross, which means your left ear. Also, blue is your left ear. Okay, let's start with the 50 because the right one is 45. Again, it's a personal choice. I prefer to start a little bit louder than the other ear. Uh, no particular reason. Okay, we'll start with 50. There's something. We'll go back to 40. There's something. We go back to 30. Oh, there's no response. Now we start ascend. 35, nothing. 40, there you go. We go back to 30. Nothing. 35, nothing. 40, there's a response. So that is our second ascending. This ascending, that's ascending. Ascending, that means the sound level is going up or the hearing level is going up. No, because I'm actually descending. Anyway, all right, just save it. Let's go to 2K. Start with 60. Nothing. 70, nothing. Oof. 80, okay. There's something. We'll go back to 70. Nothing. 75. Nothing. 80. Okay. That is our first ascending. Go back to 70. Nothing. 75. Nothing. 80. Okay. All right. Now we got the threshold. Again, there is a more than 20 dB gap between the two frequencies. So we do interactive frequency. I believe that's how they call it. I'll start with 70. 60. 50. Nothing. Okay. 55. 60. Okay, that's our first ascending. Go back to 50. Nothing. 55. Nothing. 60. Nice. There's something. Okay, now we have the threshold of 60 dB HL. Again, even if there was no 20 dB gap between 1K and 2K, I would still do 3K just to match the right ear. Let's do 4K. I'll just do 3K because I'm going to do it anyway. 95. Go to 85, nothing. 90, first ascending. 80. 85. 90, second ascending. Save it. Let's go to 4K. Give it 100. The erase, it responds. Go to 90. There's nothing. So 95. Nothing. 100. Yes, there's something. Okay, that's our first ascending. We'll go back to 90 again. 95. Because here the light is flashing, so you know there is a stimulus being presented to the patient. 100. Okay, that's our second ascending. See, this one's easy. Okay, now let's go to 8K. Again, we need to extend the range. I go to 110. Nothing. Ooh, I'll give 120. Yeah, it's blasting the patient. He's not happy about this. Okay, I go back to 110. Nothing. Okay, 115. Go back. That was our first ascending. Then we've got the second ascending. Cool, we're done. Now, this time we don't have to go back to 1K to retest because we've retested the right ear at 1K, so we don't have to do it the second ear. Okay, now I'm gonna test 750K. Wait, sorry, 750 hertz. Start with 50. There's 1, 40, yes, 30, no response. Go up 5, first ascending. 25, 30, 35. Nice. The patient's responses have been pretty consistent, so I'm not worried about the accuracy of the threshold. It should be pretty accurate. Let's go back to 500. Start with the 35. Okay, there's 1, then 25. Nothing. 30. That is our first ascending. 20, 25, and 30. I'll just save it. Okay. Now let's go to 250 hertz. I'll start with 35. Again, you can always start with 5 dB above or even at the same level. Doesn't matter that much. 25. There is 1. 50. No response. Go up 5. 20. Nothing. 25. Now, there goes our first ascending. Go back. Oh, did we just get 1 and 20? Yeah, okay. Now, that again was our first ascending. So we've got 2 first ascendings. The first one was at 20 dBHL. The second one was at 25. So whoever comes next would be our threshold. So we go back to 10, 15, 20. Oh, there's nothing. 25. Okay. I'll just set the threshold as 25. Of course, sometimes you can get a response. I'll say 20. Because 20, 25, not really of that much of a difference. So I'm not anal about this. Okay. Now, because we've finished the AC thresholds and there's no 40 dB gap between them, I'll just skip it. Now we go to BC. When we do BC, I normally just do just place the bone conductor on the side where the hearing is better here, which is pretty much the same. I'll still do the right ear. Okay, still same. We start with 1K. Start with 50. There is a response. Go to 40. There is a response. Let's go to 30. There's nothing. 35. Nothing. 40. There's a response. That was our first ascending. Now we go back to 30. Nothing. 35. Nothing. 40. Yep. That was our second ascending. Okay. Now let's go to 2K. So now it's reached the maximum output level, which is 65 dBHL at 2K. For BC, there's no way you can extend it, even if I've clicked on that. The reason is when the BC output exceeds a certain level of sound, it becomes vibrotactile. I believe that was the word. It becomes vibrotactile. That means you can feel it even though you're not hearing it, because the bone conductor is vibrating. So your skin can actually detect the vibration, and then you will give response based on the feeling instead of your hearing. So we don't actually extend the range. Okay, so that's the maximum output. There's no response at this time. If there's no response, I click on save and just left click on save and not heard. Okay. It doesn't really matter because it doesn't really change our diagnosis on this hearing, because it's definitely gonna be sensorineural hearing loss. There's no way it could be conductive, or there's no way it will have a airborne gap, because now it's 65, and even now the airborne gap is 15 dB. I suppose even if it's 70, the gap would be just 10 dB. So there's no way it's mixed. It's not mixed. It's gonna be sensorineural. Okay, now let's go to 4K. Again, that's the maximum output level. Nothing. I just save as not heard. Let's go back to 500. I'll start with 30. Yep, there is a response. I'll go to 20. There's nothing. 25. That's our first ascending at 25. Then go back to 15. And then 20. And then 25. There you go. Okay. I just can't be bothered to do 750 hertz and 1.5K because I don't think it's gonna change. So that is our final testing result. I don't think I've missed any frequency because it's level 2, so there's no tricky things in there. Okay, so now we can just describe the audiogram. The easiest way is the patient has a mild, because it's above 20 is the normal, within 20 is normal, mild to profound sensory neural hearing loss bilaterally. Well, you can say sloping sensory neural hearing loss because you could always describe the configuration, the degree, and whether it's unilateral or bilateral, or whether it's symmetric or asymmetric. All right, that's basically everything you need to know. And yeah, it's and you need to compare the consistency, the PTA result, and the case history, and the tuning forks, and also the timp results. So there's no milliliter dysfunction. So there's no conductive component here. So everything is pretty much consistent. So you're pretty sure that is the right result. Okay, now once you've finished everything, just click on finish. How do you interpret the audiogram? You just type down whatever I just said, or you don't have to. But in the exam, they're probably gonna ask you to write down on paper. All right, click OK. Describe the simple terms. How you would explain hearing impairment to the test subject. I'm not gonna do that because, dude, you're not real. All right, now if you click on OK, you come to this interface. Or yeah, okay. So on this page, you will see very faint lines. That is the correct result. And you see if they match, that means your test was pretty accurate. Also, there are a couple of the tabs for you to click on: the information, the errors, what have you done wrong. Don't mind about that. Oh yeah, complete what? What do you mean? Oh, probably it does want me to test 750 at 1.5K. I just CBF to do that. Test subject falling asleep. Well, it's not my problem. Oh. Yeah, in real life, they wouldn't fall asleep, so don't worry. Oh, the dude just fall asleep twice. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. No. And the accuracy and efficiency. All right, you see the accuracy, total measured time. Just terminated prematurely. What do you mean? Whatever, you see the here. If you get a full bar, that means it's great. If you, I've got like 7 out of 10. I believe that's because I not forgot. I just intentionally not to do 750 and 1.5K, even 3K. Also, I didn't do 125. So that's pretty much enough for you to pass the exam. I passed the Otis exam without failing. Without failing any of them, I think. There were 2. So I passed 2. So yeah, should be all right. And that's the interpretation by the expert. Don't believe that. Look at that. Bilateral sensorineural hearing impairment well above normal level for this age. You wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But that dude's an expert. You listen to him. Not listen to me. The cause can be chronic noise damage, but there are also unknown factors. Yeah, he's just bullshitting. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. About the whole test. This was pretty easy. I'll just put the file down below in the description. You can just download it and import it. But also, this test comes with Otis. So I don't think you need to download it. Anyway, then you just click on close finally. Okay. Also, the reason why I'm doing this video, or probably going to be more coming next, is that when I was in my first year, I tried to search for some tutorials about Otis, but I couldn't find any on YouTube. So I think before my license expires, I would just record everything. So I think it'll be helpful. I hope it'll be helpful to the year one audiology students, and also good luck with your study. Uh, Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in other tutorials, I think. Bye.